Hi, everyone. This is Kate Motaung from 5minutefriday.com, and I am so happy to be here today with Quantrilla Ard. Welcome, Quantrilla.
Thank you so much, Kate. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm looking forward to chatting with you.
Same.
For those who are listening or watching, we are busy with a 12-part interview series called the Influence Series, and we are discussing the 12 chapters from this book called Influence, Building a Platform that Elevates Jesus, Not Me. I almost said building a chapter, building a platform that elevates Jesus, not me. And we are on chapter 4, which is called Forward, as in the forward of a book, not necessarily moving forward. So I've invited Quantrilla today to talk to us a bit about some themes from that chapter. But first, Quani, can you tell us a bit more about yourself and your work?
Sure, I'll be happy to. So, I live in Maryland with my family, my husband, and my 3 little children. They are 9, almost 7, and 3. So, the middle child will be 7 in about a week or so.
Yeah.
So, we're birthdays all around. And I am finishing up my PhD in health psychology. So, that is fun. So, I'm a student as well as a wife and a mom. My husband is also finishing up his PhD, so we're just really busy over here. I'm a entrepreneur, have a little small online business, and I write. I love to write. I love to make connections with other people. So you can find me all over social media, all over the internet, because I just love community. So.
Well, it's been such a blessing for me to get to know you online a bit, and I'm still holding out hope that we'll get to meet in person one day soon as
I
well.
am too. I am too. It has been a blessing for sure.
Love that. Great. Well, in chapter 4 of the book Influence, my co-author Shannon Popkin and I talk about this idea of a writer's forward. Not necessarily the forward of a book, but the forward of a writer's work and ministry. So in other words, the backstory that precedes where we are now. So Kwani, when you think about the idea of your own forward, what are some of the highlights that come to mind?
Gosh, there's so many. I would say walking through several tragedies, actually. I know that's kind of an odd way to start, but I grew up not really having any issues, didn't really have a hard story, nothing that would kind of lead me to think, okay, this is how my story is going to play out. But my mother was ill, and she passed away like right after I graduated from college, and it was a huge just shift for me. And the things that I had kind of planned out, the things we had discussed, I mean, it completely changed my entire life. So I kind of lost a little bit of my confidence, and I lost a little bit of my hope. And I'm a Christian and I love the Lord, but I just couldn't understand why he would allow this to happen. So I would say my forward actually starts there where my mother's life ended. It kind of forced me to really look toward what I thought my life was going to be and how it was going to go from that point on.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a very pivotal point. And just kind of trying to find my way, gaining my education. And it's so funny, my husband says all the time, you have so much education, what are you going to do with it? And I'd be like, I don't know. But when I think about the different things that I've done, sometimes it may seem a little scatterbrained, but everything that has happened, everything that has created my story, my forward, it all makes sense now where I am today.
Yeah.
So, I love what I've done. I love the work that I've been able to do. And I hope that when other people hear my story and hear the forward of my story, that they will kind of have some confidence that, sometimes things happen. But that doesn't mean that you don't get to move forward,
Yeah.
to use the other forward.
Yes. Thank you for sharing that. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How have you seen the Lord's hand at work in your life through some of these steps in your forward to bring you to the place that you are now?
Oh, that's a good one. I think the things that I've been through have really challenged me to change my perspective on how to deal with those things. And then additionally, whenever I would find myself in a circumstance or situation, once I kind of got through it, there was someone around me who was about to go into that same situation or scenario. So it really felt like as God was leading me to those people, I was participating in their healing, but they were also helping me wrap up my own healing as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was just, it just uncanny. It just, every time something would happen, someone around me would end up in a similar situation. And so God was kind of showing me, hey, these are trials that you're going through to work out your faith. But they're not just for you, they're for others as well. And so as I began to apply what I had learned and try to walk alongside someone else, God was kind of doing a work in me as well. So, and I love those stories, and I have so many of them. But I definitely see God working in my life as he would allow me to help others and come alongside them. So.
That's amazing. It reminds me of that passage in the New Testament about the God of all comfort who comforts us in our troubles so that we can also comfort those in their time of need. And
Absolutely.
how he has done that for you.
Absolutely.
Well, in this chapter, we also talk about struggles with underconfidence and overconfidence. Could you share an example of a time when you've noticed yourself battling underconfidence in the writer life?
Oh, for sure. I wasn't too nervous about actually starting my blog because I felt like, okay, this is absolutely what I'm supposed to do. But then I realized, oh, wait, I can write for other blogs. I can write for other publications and for other people. And that's what got me. I think once I started to see like the different guidelines and the word count, and I think I'm more of a writer that writes from like inspiration and when the mood hits.
Yeah.
So it was very nerve-wracking for me to know that I really wanted my words to get out there and kind of, go to different other places. But then I was like, they may not like my words, or, it may not fit what they want. So I think every time I go to submit or pitch or whatever, that thing kind of, rises up in me and I'm like, no, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, if it gets accepted or if it's, put on the website, I mean, every single time I am completely amazed. Every time.
Sure. I think many of us who are writers can relate to that, and that tension of just you click submit and then there's that waiting period, and it feels like it goes on forever when to hear back, and then often it's a rejection, and then you have to deal with all of that as well, the am I good enough questions, and
It's true.
all of
Very
that.
true.
Yeah. So for those who are struggling as well with underconfidence, as you described, what advice would you offer to someone like that who is just really struggling with doubting themselves and their ability to write, or whether they should click submit on that guest post or not?
Well, two things. So the first thing would be that there's a place for you. There's a space for you. There is, we have this big, wide universe of writing, and there is a place for you. So if you go into it believing that there's a place for you, it kind of helps you not be afraid of what's already out there. I hear the question all the time, well, what makes me different? There's so many people doing this, and why should I do it? Because nobody can do it the way you can do it.
Amen.
So be confident in the fact that God has given you this gift. He's put this desire in you to do this because no one can do it the way you can do it. And then the second thing, if not you, who?
Yeah.
So there's a bit of confidence in the fact that if you don't do it, maybe that thing will be missing. Maybe that word of confidence or that encouragement or that Bible study, it would be missing. Someone would miss if you didn't put whatever God asked you to put out there, somebody would miss it.
Yeah.
So, those two things kind of helped me to get past the fear and the nervousness of hitting submit. Because yes, there are probably tons of submissions and tons of writers, but I have to believe that God has given me something special. And that kind of pushes me over the hump so that I can click submit. And that's for anyone who is in a position to minister to others, whether it's a microphone or a computer or whatever God has asked you to do. If not you, then who?
If Christians aren't sharing the light, then other people are filling that darkness with even more, and so if we don't do it, who will, like you said?
That's right. So true. So true.
Thank you for that. What about overconfidence? Have you ever caught yourself being overconfident as a writer or a speaker?
Ooh, let's see. I don't think that's my thing.
That's not you.
That's my thing. No. That's never been my thing.
Okay.
But there's always the temptation, right? If you have a gift and God has blessed you with it, and as people start to encourage that gift and people start to they give you compliments on that gift, there's always the temptation. That may not be my go-to thing, but who doesn't want to hear you're doing a great job, or that's the best thing I've ever read, or you're just a fantastic writer. You want to hear those things. Or you're a great speaker, or whatever. So of course the temptation is there, but that's not my personality. My personality does not lean toward overconfidence. So I typically don't have that problem. So yeah.
I remember a time when you were talking about guest posts. I was in a obsession, let's call it, with guest posting for a while when I first started out, and I would just submit everywhere. It became a way to just distract myself from other things in life that were going on when my mom was sick in particular. And so I would just submit, and I think I checked after a couple of years, I had like a 40% success rate. So it wasn't even like that, let's say for every 100 articles I submitted, only 40 of them got a yes. But there was one place in particular that I'd gotten a couple of yeses in a row, and I just started to think, oh, I totally get what they're looking for. This is right up my alley. I understand the whole audience, and I can write to them. And then after maybe the third or fourth time, I submitted and got turned down. And then I tried again, and then I got turned down again. And the Lord kind of showed me there that I think I had gotten a bit overconfident in that, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing. I can do this again. And they'll say yes every time. And that was not the case. So maybe something like that too would be an encouragement for those who think that, oh, I can do this. And yet it's really the Lord's work every time, that we have to depend on Him and not ourselves.
That's right. And I think to add to that is to remember that, it's God who's called you, and you're not just doing this for yourself.
Yeah.
So it would be different if, you were trying to work towards a promotion, or if you were, building a company from the ground up. But this particular thing is not about us.
Exactly.
It's all about God. And if God is calling us, then God will lead us to where we need to be. Like, we won't have to puff ourselves up or even kind of fall prey to the praise that sometimes comes along with it. So for people who may lean towards overconfidence, just remember, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about God, and it's about His message, and it's about His people. And if you keep that in your the forefront of your mind, that'll help get the eyes out of the eyes. So
that's great advice. And I think it works both ways, doesn't it? That for the underconfident, remembering that it's all about Him and not about us either. It's a two-sided coin. Well, thank you so much for all the encouragement and wisdom that you've shared.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us where people can find you online?
Of course. Like I said before, I'm all over. You can find me on my blog. I blog as the PhD Mama at thephdmama.com. I'm on Instagram as Kwani Boo. So many of you have probably seen me posting or commenting as Kwani Boo. I'm also on Twitter, love Twitter. That's where I meet my 5 Minute Friday people, as QYARD08. That's my handle on Twitter. And also, Medium is a great place for writers. Just this is a freebie I'm throwing out. So
Yes.
if you love to write and you kind of want to, get things out there, Medium is a great place to write. I'm also on Medium. You can find me under my name, Quantrilla Ard, on Medium as well. So
Great.
yeah.
Well, we'll be sure to link to all those places that you've mentioned in the post that's associated with this video. And for those who'd like to listen in on more conversations from this series, you can visit the page 5minutefriday.com/influence series. All right. Thank you so much again for being here.
You're welcome, Kate. It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.